Good afternoon, all of you. Respected panelists, Honorable Principal, Vice Principal, my distinguished parents, staff members. Once again, a warm good afternoon to all of you to this webinar. I would like to appreciate all the people who gathered here on this virtual platform to attend a very important, very useful piece of information we are going to gather from you. As you know, now education is going on virtual platform or online platform. So there are some safety related matters which may affect any internet user. Some parents or some people are able to prevent possible online threat. At the same time, majority of people like me, we are not able to understand what kind of internet threat may affect us, how it is going to affect us, and is there any possible remedy to prevent this kind of fraudulence. So here we have very prominent, very reputed, very what I can say that skilled trainers or panelists from India, and they are going to give us very useful piece of information regarding online safety. E-safety is described as the school's responsibility or our responsibility to protect and educate people, students, our parents and the teaching faculty to secure their online portal in the best possible manner. So when we conduct such a session for the parents, we consider it is our moral responsibility or moral obligation to share such valuable information with our parents. Before I enter the details of this webinar, I would like to introduce the panelist today, Dr. Seema Negi. She's a very famous educator. She is a global goodwill ambassador and currently the principal of Sanjeevani World School, Mumbai, India. She is a coordinator for SAARC Nations Regional Committee for Global Youth Parliament. She is a Secretary General from India for Global Talk Education. And she has many awards and accolades to her credit. It is my privilege to extend my cordial welcome to such an eminent person to this webinar. Dr. Seema, I welcome you to this webinar. And we have another important panelist from India, Mrs. Shivani Shahini. She is also an experienced educator from India. She has more than 2 decades of leading pedagogic development and experience. She's an eminent, a speaker, and she has many awards and accolades to her credit. I take this opportunity to extend my cordial welcome to Mrs. Shivani Shahini to this webinar. I welcome you, ma'am. We have another important person, another panelist from India, Mr. Saurabh Maheshwari. It is my honor to welcome him. He is a national trader and an IT expert, and with a lot of experience, long years of experience in this field. And our moderator, Mrs. Negi Gupta, she's an educator, popular as Northworthy leader and a technology expert. And she is working as the editor of Orange Publication. The Orange Publication is one of the leading publications in India. And this session we are arranging with the support and assistance of Orange Publication. I welcome Negi ma'am. I welcome our honorable principal, vice principal, distinguished parents, and all of you to this webinar. And we are going to gather a very useful, very useful information about online safety. And before I finish my speech, I request my principal, Mr. S. Jacob, for inaugural address. Welcome you all once again. Thank you. May God bless us.
Thank you, Mr. Saifuddin, and distinguished guests of the day, and beloved parents, and dear my colleagues, Mr. Naushad Shamsuddin, Vice Principal, Mr. Saifuddin P. Hamza, Academic Coordinator, Mrs. Leda Anil Kumar, Curriculum Head, all the supervisors, HODs, and my beloved parents. Once again, warm good afternoon. It's our privilege to have our distinguished guests with us. As Mr. Saifuddin introduced them, we have got eminent personalities. This is the 3rd webinar. These people are with us. The first one with our beloved children, and second one with our teachers exclusive today, just a while ago. Now, the very important session with my beloved parents. As we know that our children, when they are in online, most of the parents are a bit tensed. Even we teachers also a bit tensed. 24/7, around the clock, these people they are happy to be connected in online. But the very good topic will be given by the throw light on it, Dr. Seema Negi, the principal. And as Mr. Saifuddin introduced her, she's a very good, eminent personality. And we are so proud to have such a person here. And she is giving some light on parenting in digital world. So parents, it's a proud privilege for us to have with us on setting up a cyber-free home. Such a beautiful, wonderful, important topics. So let us wait to hear for all these things. Before that, I would like to invite our Vice Principal to say a few words on it. Thank you. And over to Mr. Naushad.
Naushad sir, are you there?
Tell Niti to unmute
Naushad
it.
Sir, I think he's a co-panelist, sir.
No, Mr. Naushad, it is not audible. Mrs. Nidhi, you please see whether it is.
Can you please mention the name? I have actually added him, but I don't know. I can't find his name actually. It is
Mr. Naushad Shamsuddin. Naushad Shamsuddin.
It's not there in the attendees.
Or in the Vice Principal, you check.
Lata ma'am also I tried, but both of these are not available in the attendees list. Can you please confirm have they joined or not?
Okay. Just.
And he is there on login, and he is sending the messages.
By what name has he joined? Because I can't find him.
Just let me.
Yes, he's here now.
Good afternoon, all of you.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Most distinguished panelists for today, moderator Ms. Nidhi Gupta, and speakers Ms. Shivani Sahni and Dr. Saurabh Maheshwari and Dr. Seema Negi, and my beloved principal, academic coordinator, curriculum head, supervisors, most distinguished parents, and beloved children. A warm good evening to all of you. I'm not taking much of your time because this is a very important webinar that we have arranged for our parents. And the lecture being, we have one of the principals addressing the parents, and that is why she will be focusing more on what kind of distractions that the children may have when they are interacting online, and stuff like that. So it's going to be definitely interesting and useful also, because parenting in the digital world is one of the threats and challenges that every parent of ours will be facing, especially when our parents are not that techno savvy as our children are. So in this context, that was a challenging enterprise, and definitely the principal and other panelists will be discussing more on that. And it's a polite exhortation to all our parents. Just pay heed to what our panelists say, and if you have any queries, please feel free to interact with them, because then only the purpose will be served. Whatever queries that you have pertaining to the topic that they try to present, try to interact with them. Definitely they are all experts, because we have attended 2 sessions before, one with our children and one with our teachers. Definitely both the sessions were really enriching and informative, and it was empowering as well. So we request all our parents to be listening to the sessions properly, and after that you can, if you have any queries, try to interact with them. Okay, so that way it's going to be beneficial. So anyway, I'm not keeping our parents waiting, as well as the panelists. So I take this opportunity to wish all the very best for our panelists, and wish a wonderful session for our parents as well. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Nidhi ma'am, can we start the session?
Sure, sir, we'll do that. Thank you so much, all of you. Okay, I welcome all the parents for finding time today for the webinar today. I am Nidhi Gupta. As sir has already introduced me, I'll just brief about the Orange Education. We are a leading publisher of computer textbooks. The books are in the name of Touchpad. We also conduct school level Olympiads and national level Olympiad examinations, and we prepare books for them as well in various subjects such as English, Math, Science, Hindi, Cyber, Finance, and many more subjects. I am the publishing manager of Orange Education, and this webinar has specially been being organized for the parents. So I welcome all of you once again, and I'll start the webinar session. Today we have Seema ma'am with us. She will help us in actually preparing our students and making them aware of the cyber safety things. Cyber attacks have moved on from identity theft and online hacking and more these days. It is very dangerous. So she'll throw some light on these. And today we are discussing two topics. One is setting up a cyber safe home, and one is parenting in digital world. So Seema ma'am, over to you.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you, and good evening, everyone. And first of all, congratulations to the entire school and their fraternity, because the kind of efforts you are taking, I have seen, like I have been associated. This is the third webinar I am taking, wherein you first guided the students, then you guided the teacher, and now you are guiding the parents. Because when we talk of holistic education, we ensure that parents and teachers both stand firmly behind the child. Because when we work together, when we work in collaboration, then only we can say that yes, we are giving holistic education to the child. So congratulations to the entire school fraternity for this wonderful initiative. Now, parents, when we talk about parenting, and especially when we talk about parenting in digital era, parenting doesn't come with any manual. There is no manual that this is how you have to parent your child, or there is no manual that, okay, if the things have turned around, if the pandemic have turned around things, and now you have to give your gadgets or your, say, laptop or your screen to your child, the parenting rules will change. What is important is to understand generational disparity. So that is something we'll be focusing today. What is generational disparity? Which generation you are catering to? Because as an educator, we need to know which generation is coming to our school as parents and which generation is coming to our school as students. So because we cannot teach this generation with 19th century mindset, we have to teach them with the current trends. So what are the current trends? What you should know to keep your home cyber safe, and what you should know about this particular generation, so that you are a digitally aware parent who is parenting digital natives, who by far know technology much more than you and me. This is the first realization, and we have to accept that our children know much more than us. The early we will realize this related to technology, I think the better it will be for us, and we will be more open for any kind of change or any kind of discussion when our child puts in his or her inputs when it comes to technology. So quickly, I'll take you through two things. First, as we told, we will talk about the cyber safe home, few guidelines which you all need to know. The most of you might be knowing also, because your children are using technology. You have given technology to your child, and you are staying in a country who is technologically way ahead and very advanced. So let's go through it quickly. Now, when we talk about technology, and when we talk about most of the parents who are attending it, maybe most of you are the first generation internet parent. Like your children are the one who are born and raised using technology, which you might have not done. So as I told you in the beginning, let's understand that our children know internet much better than us, because they are born with technology. That is why they are known as digital natives. Now, how children get online, though they have seen you using various social media, they have seen you doing research, and children have acquired these skills. Children have acquired this skill the moment you gave them your laptop or your smartphone. So they use their laptop, they use the smartphone for various things, for playing games, for gamification, for social media, for research, depend upon their age criteria. So what exactly they do online and what exactly they are doing online from precisely last 6 months when this pandemic has hit us hard and we have to go to virtual learning. They visit virtual world. Virtual world is little different than what the world that we stay in, because some things looks very fancy, but they are not so fancy. Something that looks very attractive might not be that attractive. So we have to be very careful. Our children visit virtual world. They play multi-user games. They do instant text messaging. They message each other. They share videos to each other. They go to various social media sites. They share their own details to many people. They download music, movies, and many more things. They do create. You might have seen that these days, a lot of children, they upload art. They create art using the internet tools. And yes, they do research also on various topics, pertinent topics. Now, how the virtual world looks like and what are the popular virtual worlds which you as a parent at least should be aware of. You need to be aware of that your children do go to the virtual worlds like Minecraft, Club Penguin, The Sims, World of Warcraft, Second Life. I mean, these are few of the games you need to go and play. Till the time you will not go and play, you will not experience, you will not come to know where parental control needs to be used and how to restrict that. So rather than just telling your child to stop it, go and see whether is this the right thing for your child. And if your child is playing it again and again, you need to know how to then slowly and gradually come to an end of that and tell your child that these things are not good for you. Because abruptly one fine day you will get up and you will say, I don't want you to play this game. This will not happen with this generation, because they will start retaliating back. Now, social media, social networking sites that most of you and your children are using: Facebook, we all are aware of; Instagram, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Twitter. There was TikTok. Some of the children were using it right now. I think it's banned in most of the countries. You create your own profile, you communicate with your friends, you find people with similar interests. So while we were starting with this session, I read in the chat box, somebody has written, why not to discuss more about disadvantages of social media? See, social media comes with a lot of advantages, but at the same time, it comes with a lot of disadvantages also. Advantages: today we are connected with each other. Today, me sitting in India and you sitting in UAE, we are able to connect with each other just because of technology. Similarly, if you are connected with your family or your friends who are staying in different parts of the world, definitely social media is helping you connect. Social media is helping you see how they are staying or where they have gone for vacation or what kind of jobs they are doing. You are able to see that. But at the same time, social media is exposing the information that is there. Everything is now open in front of everyone. So how to maintain a balance and how to create this equilibrium, I'll come to that later. Top 10 cyber safety tips that I would like to give to all the parents is: you need to be informed, be up to date. Do not say that it was not there when we were growing up, so we were not aware of that. We need to learn. See, we all need to go through a cycle of unlearn, relearn, and learn. And that is what all the teachers have done during this pandemic. Everybody started unlearning and relearning, because that is how world is moving ahead. So please stay up to date. It's okay to ask your child the kind of things they see on internet, the kind of apps they are using, or keep on checking their phones, not because you want to spy on them, but you need to protect your child online. That is very important. So know the tools, risk, and rules. You need to know what are the rules of this particular application, what are the rules of this particular game, and what are the risks associated to that. Use online protection tool. You will always find there are various online protection tool which can block few sites, which can save your child not to go to that not to go to that site again and again. There are various parental control that you can use so that you can block few of the things which are not appropriate for your child. Encourage critical thinking. Now, when we talk about critical thinking, there are many apps or there are many sites wherein your child can develop interest, and those sites can cater to child's academics also. The child can think critically from going from one level to another level. So encourage child to go for those kind of things which stimulate their thinking process. Set up internet safe use. There should be a rule in your house that how you're going to use internet, for how many hours you're going to use internet. So those rules should be there in your house. Learn about social networks. As I told you about various social networks, social networking sites, you need to know about that. You need to know about Facebook, you need to know about Instagram. Okay, it's fine that you are not using it, but you need to know it because your child is using it. Understand games and apps. Once you will understand, then only you will be able to monitor and have parental control. Understand online violence. Very, very important, because there are many children who become prey to this online violence. So know what kind of online violence is there, and then shield your child. Trust, invest time, monitor and educate. You need to trust your child when your child says that, okay, the child is using internet safely for 2 hours. You need to invest time with your child to understand what the child is seeing. You need to monitor. I'm not telling you to be on their head, but do monitor. Do go to the history and see what your child is seeing, the kind of sites your child is visiting, and educate them. Educate them in the right direction. And also at the same time, since we are not digital native, learn from them. Learning from them is also a kind of education, because they feel empowered that their parents are learning technology from them. And practice what you preach. If you tell your child that they need not be on social media sites when they are eating their food, you have to practice the same thing. So it is very important that you need to practice what you are telling your child. Now, these are few things that I think each and every parent should know. You need to teach your child the protection against cyberbullying. We are talking about cyberbullying from last two sessions, because it is very important, and lots of not just children but adults are also becoming a prey of cyberbullying, and then they are going through depression or various other mental stress. So it is very important that you need to protect your child. Inform your children, and you also as an adult, never respond to unkind remarks. At times we just want to jump in if there is something which is unkind, something which is inappropriate. We just feel, okay, let me also be a part of that. No, do not respond to those things. Restrict yourself. Be a person who knows how to use the words and language properly. So that is very important, that do not restrict unkind remarks. Don't participate in cyberbullying, and ensure that your children are not becoming a prey for that. Block the cyberbullies. If you find that this particular site, this particular person is trying to, contact your child, or trying to sending you a lot of mails which are going to a spam, please block it. Tell a trusted adult. If you are not aware of these rules, you can tell your teacher, you can tell your school, you can tell it to any trusted person who has knowledge about that. Save those posts which you feel were inappropriate, because when you will go to law, or when you will lodge a complaint regarding that, those posts will be your proofs. Notify law enforcement if possible and whenever appropriate, and not notify your child's school if you have seen that something inappropriate happening during the online sessions. Also, it's always better to notify. And be very careful about sexual predators. This is important for me to tell you, because many children, sometimes as a parent, what we do, we are so fascinated by uploading our children photograph of everything, what my child is doing today, where my child is sitting and studying, the kind of project my child has made, the kind of dressing sense my child carries. But we actually, what we are doing, we are making our child open in front of the entire world. Everybody can see that, and that sometimes leads to people who then try to get information about your child, identifying few things. Suppose if you are posting a picture wherein a particular background is seen again and again, so they identify, okay, this kind of locality the person is staying, this lane the person is staying, this house the person is staying, and then they try to get in touch with your child. Please be very careful about that. Never ever reveal your personal information. Your personal information needs to stay private. That's your information. Don't openly reveal anyone. I mean, you go to many social media sites, you just keep on writing your name, address, phone number, everything. Don't give everything so openly, and do not post a lot of photographs of your own self. You need to know where you are posting, what you are posting, and whether that site is appropriate for you to share the information or not. Learn how to use privacy setting, very important. Be familiar with the website your child visits. I told it again earlier also, and again I will harp on that, that you need to know the kind of website your child is visiting. Maybe your child has visited a site out of curiosity or mistake, but later on maybe the content that is there is really inappropriate and a child becomes addicted to that. So are you aware what your child is seeing? Read privacy policy and please set up something which is private. So do that thing. You can create walls, you can create boundaries. So use your parental control. It is very important. Stay alert, because that is, again, as I told you, very important. If you want a cyber safe home, you need to stay alert. Again, in nutshell, I'm telling you, do not, when you are replying to suspicious message and calls, you should never do it. Do not open links and attachment which are unsolicited. Do not open, because many of the times you will find emails saying that you have won so many dollars or this or that. Do not open them. Buy things online that seems to be sold out elsewhere else. I mean, if you feel that, okay, this particular site is genuine, you can buy online from there, then only buy. Otherwise, do not just randomly buy from any site. When you send money upfront to someone you don't know, that is one policy you need to restrict to. Please, when you are sharing your money using your say bank's app, or you are using your phone, be mindful what you are doing. Are you doing NEFT? Are you doing RTGS? Or you are just sharing the money? You need to know whether you are doing it in a right manner or not, because these are few things wherein we do minimum or minor error, but later on we pay heavily for that. Don't share something which is inappropriate. Don't share your bank detail and financial information with anyone. When you make donation for charities, just see whether are you giving it to the authentic person or authentic site or authentic organization, because that is how your data is being stolen and you become a prey for something called digital theft. Again, when you are making your home a very strong cyber safe home, you need to regularly back up your data, and you have to see your software update. Always keep your software updated and have a backup of your data. Keep on changing your Wi-Fi password. That should be your default routine, that after so many days or so many months you are going to change it. Please keep your passwords as difficult as possible. They should be alphanumeric, there should be special characters, and mostly everybody says, and I will also repeat the same thing, do not have your date of birth, your card number, your house number, your child's date of birth, your child's name as the password, because these are the easily crackable passwords. Install antivirus software on all the devices connected to internet. Very important to keep your devices safe. If your devices are safe, your data is safe. If your data is safe, yes, you are protecting. That layer of protection is always there with all your devices. Choose strong and different password. Already I have discussed about this. Review your app's permission and delete those you don't use. Many of the time you will see that there are so many apps on our phone which we are not using. They are just there. So please make it a habit. Once in a month you are cleaning or clearing your device. See what is not important. See the messages which are just downloaded and they are in the folder and you are not using it. Delete them. Make it a practice. How we clean our home, we have to clean our systems also. Secure electronic device with password, pin, biometric information, very important. Everything needs to be secure, and it is not difficult to secure them. Anything in digital world and everything in digital world can be secured if you are alert, and anything and everything in digital world can be hacked if you are not alert. So review the privacy setting of your social media account. Usually we do not change our social media account password very often, but then you have to make it a practice that, okay, after every 3 months or after every 6 months, we will change our social media password also, because that is one thing where usually we do not do. For banks and other institutions, we do that. Online shopping, be very careful. Think before you just transfer your money. Think before you use your credit card and you just add on all the information. Whenever you are doing online shopping, do not go for the option which says we are saving your information for further use. Do not do that. Whatever you have purchased, see to it again the site is authentic site, and your data is not getting stolen. And if you feel there is any malpractice happening, it is better to inform as early as possible. Now, these were few of the things which you should know as a preface when we talk about digital world, because you need to be aware of how things are changing outside your periphery, or the things are changing what you were not aware of. Most of the things, because today there is no person who is not using AI, that is artificial intelligence. Even if you are using your WhatsApp, you are using artificial intelligence. So I am sure each one of you are aware of digitalization. Each one of you know that yes, you have to protect your child, and that is the reason we are here today and we are discussing this. But there are small steps that we have to follow, and when somebody comes and reinforce that steps again and again, we start validating, yes, I knew this, but I have not done it. So those who already knew it and they have not done it, it is a task for you that you have to do it today evening. Ensure that you are taking all the precautions. Now, when we come to parenting in digital era, that is particularly one of my favorite topic, because as I told you, parenting doesn't come with any manual. There is no manual that this is how you have to parent your child, and especially in digital era. So what are we looking at, and whom are we parenting basically? So as I told you, generational disparity is something that parents and teachers, everyone has to understand, because we all are from different generation. Maybe I am one generation older to the audience who is listening to me right now, and the generation who is studying in my class right now is the alpha generation. I mean, they are the children who know all the technology landscape. Here, parenting strategies maximize the digital era. I mean, as a parent also, you have given device to your child, maybe when the child was just 1 year old or 1.5 year old. So these children are digital natives. They know about everything in and out about digitalization. Now this generation alpha is basically the children who are born between 2010 to 2025. That is the period which is considered as generation alpha. These children are the children of millennial parents. Millennial parents, most of you who are attending this, and as per the projected survey, there are around 2 billion of them by 2025. So understand, technology is here to stay, and what we have to do, we have to embrace it, we have to learn it, and then we have to make our rules which is suitable for our house to take it forward. Unlike other generation which merely use technology, this generation alpha will spend most of their formative years. You might have seen that your children are more glued to technology. Your TVs have become smart TVs. Your phones have become smartphones. Children know how to use. You don't have to teach your child how to go to YouTube and download a video. Children know that because they are spending a lot of time using technology and they are immersed in technology. So quickly, if I take you to each generation to give you a better picture of this, the people who are born between 1945 to 1965 are usually considered as baby boomers. Maybe some of the grandparents are of that generation. Now, Generation X is the one who was born between 1960 to 1980. So these are Generation X. I belong to that generation. Maybe few of you belong to that generation, or the senior staff of the school belongs to this generation. The generation born between 1980 to 2000, that's basically Generation Y, or known as millennial. So this is the generation whose children are studying in our school, or this is the generation who is ruling the corporate world right now. So this is one generation who was raised by baby boomers, and this is one generation who is now giving birth to our alpha generation. Generation Z is the generation who started with digitalization. They are digital native, and beyond that, everybody is becoming digital native. These are from 1995 to 2010, and 2010 to 2025. It is likely to be known as Google Kids, because Google have all the answer. And these kids, rather than coming to us or going through books, they just go to Google for all the answers. Some characteristics which you all need to know: they are very individual kind of person. They have their own independence. They have the habit of being independent and self-reliant. As I told you, they will not come to us for their problems or to seek solution. They might go to Google because they feel they will get all the answers. So they have this characteristic of very individualistic. Yes, less human contact and relationship, because they are born with the apps. They're always with apps, they're always with online. So rather than more face-to-face interaction, they are more online interaction kind of children. And they use technology for the education. They are very, very proficient with the modern technological gadgets, and this is entrepreneurial generation. You might have seen that during last few years there are so many startups which have come up, because this is the entrepreneurial generation. They think that they can start something new. They are the one who have popularized design thinking. So there's a lot of children who belong to this particular generation are entrepreneurs in making. Moving ahead, when we talk about their moral and spiritual weakness, as generation become more individualistic, less people will commit to organized religions. I mean, these are few of the values that we as parent in school will have to imbibe. What is moral conduct? What is our spiritual values? What is our history? What are the lessons that we have to learn from our history or our culture? These are few things we really need to work on with this generation. That is why value integration is one of the important subject in most of the school. They have less of resilience, the culture of instant gratification. They want instant gratification. They have done something good, they need instant appreciation. If they have posted something on social media, they want to see instant likes and instant comment, because that is their way of getting instant gratification. Again, this sometimes leads to a lot of negativity, because if the comments are not there, if the likes are not there, if they have posted something, this generation then goes to depression. They have learned the term like depression and juvenile depression very early, which we were not aware of, I think, when we were young. So the village needs to raise a child is now global village. Initially, we used to say that, okay, one particular child and the entire the entire village is raising that child. But now that village has become very, very broad for us. It's global village. A child who is in India knows everything that's happening in the world, around the world. A child who is in UAE knows everything. So it's a global village that we are raising our children for. So what are few of the things that our children are very particular about? What are the emerging trends that we need to know about our children? Yes, they belong to the world, that is globalization. They are very particular about their environment, climate change. They know everything: societal change, gender roles, technology. So how this is affecting them, I'll come to that in detail. Now, when I talk about globalization, there is ease of communication with this particular generation. There are interconnected economies. As I told you, we know about each and every country. We know about their economies. We know the ethnic groups that are there. We know the kind of interaction which is happening. So they have more broader perspective of the world. They are not limited to one particular country, one particular race, one particular community. In fact, they are the digital community or the global community. Technology, instant communication, handheld technology, being connected online, floods of information. Yes, that is one thing. There is flood of information. So where school and parents play a major role, wherein there is flood of information, you need to guide your child. What is knowledge out of that information? What is the right information that the child needs to know about? Because having lots of information and not having right information is not the right thing. Moving ahead, societal changes. We have seen that the parents who lead children being cared by the people other than parents. Now, for example, if I have to tell you, many of the parents are working parents right now. So we have seen the major change that initially we used to see the joint families, parents staying together with grandparents, and everybody used to be a part of celebration. All occasions used to be parental, all occasions used to be family gathering. But slowly and slowly we have changed, we have seen a sea change in that. Societal change are taking place, where maybe a lot of parent grandparent involvement is not there. There are no gathering where everybody is coming together. Even if everybody is coming together, our children are pretty aloof, because they want to stay in their digital world. So this is giving rise to a lot of adolescent sexuality. This is giving rise to a lot of internet harassment and also cyberbullying. So we need to ensure that our children are in the safer space. Now, coming to gender roles, women and girls taking on diverse leadership roles, we have seen that gone are the days when few of the jobs were secured for boys only. So this generation is very, very pro generation. They know what they have to do. And here, when we talk about boys or when we talk about girls, they know, I mean, they know their roles. They know what they can do. And they do not define it with girls or boys kind of things. Gone, I mean, gone are the days of pinks and blues, I'll say. It is more of amalgamating things. Environment, global concerns, what is happening, they know everything. Your child will know much more about what is happening in the world than you and me. You can ask them and you can test that. So what is effective parenting in digital area? If you have understood the kind of generation you are raising, you will ask then what is effective parenting? Is there any said rules or guidelines for effective parenting? The rules are very simple. And the rule can be different for each and every parent. The rule can be different for each and every house. But then there are certain things which can be similar for everyone. A change in attitude towards having a child. I mean, you might have seen that initially we used to say, okay, the child is born, so the child will be raised by the entire family. But now, millennial parents, they take conscious decision before going for parenthood. They decide, they plan their entire future, they plan the child's future, and then they go for a child. So millennial parents, they use apps, interactive screens, and tech devices to stimulate generation alpha child. Now, when I'm saying this, what I want to say is, now here, if a 2 years old child asks for a device, we as millennial parents do not hesitate giving the device. Initially, when we go back, say 20, 30 years back, a child used to be very busy playing with siblings or the family, and the children were actually away from the devices. But now these children are raised by the device. So all kind of stimulation they are getting through the device. Millennial parents or the parents of this new generation, they believe in technology. They believe technology maximizes frustration as parent. If the child is crying, the child is asking for something, the child is not listening to you, the best substitute is give the device. So if you give the device, the child is busy with the device, seeing everything, and the child goes to his or her own world with the device. So what happens? The parent are substituting parenthood with the device. 64% says technology give them time to do other things. Although 63% parents agree that technology diminishes quality time with child. Yes, you have given technology to your child and the child is sitting alone and playing games or doing whatever the child wanted to do using the internet. He or she is on social media, and you are getting a lot of time for yourself. But what you are not getting is you are not getting quality time with your child. So do not use device as a substitute to your parenting. That is something I am very pro for. You need to give your time. Because you are not able to give your time, you are giving technology to your child at a very, very early age. Two major factors of effective parenting: responsiveness. How much we are warmly engaged in our children's life. Are we really engaged in our children's life, or we have actually given the technology and we think technology is taking care of everything? So this is something you need to think about. This is something you need to introspect. Demandingness, how much we provide expectations and supervision. Now, when we say if the child is demanding technology and you have given technology, what kind of supervision are you taking care of, and what kind of expectations you have from a child? When you have given technology, what are your expectations? What are you expecting the child to do? And if you are expecting something, how much are you supervising? So there are many authoritative parents, because we feel being a parent, whatever we are telling, the child has to do that thing. Usually doesn't happen these days. Parenting approach wherein parents strive to have a strong, loving relationship with their child, with their children, yet they also provide high expectation and definite limits that help children meet expectation. What we need to do is, if you have given technology, you need to be responsible, you need to be responsive, you need to know how the child is using it. If you have expected something, if you have expectations from the child, you need to be a part of that. Are you supervising, or you're just telling, okay, I have given you gadget, I have given you laptop, I have given you everything. Now you have entire technology and world in your hand. You are a global citizen. You know what is happening in all the countries. You know what is happening in any arena when we talk about the world. Now what I want you to complete this work and give it to me. No, it doesn't happen that way. Are you a part of child's learning process? If you are not, then it is only your expectation that you want the child to perform, but not being a part of the child's journey. Parenting strategy, you need, maximizing the digital era. You know, you have given, the gadgets are there and the children are using it. Strike to the same timeless values we were being raised with. That's very important parenting strategies, that you need to strike a balance. An equilibrium needs to be made between the technology and the values, which are very, very important, the values which were there prior to digital era. Respect. Even technology says that you need to respect everyone. If you do not want people to use inappropriate language when they are chatting with you, you need to show the same thing. You also don't have to use that language. So even in digital world, respect is important. So respect each and every industry. Show your respect. Be honest. These are few of the things we always used to use when we were growing up. So why we are not able to teach these things to our children? Use technology in keeping social interaction and relationship. You know, we are connected to everyone using social media these days. So these apps are good. Apps are used for playing, bonding, story time, music. There are so many things. The birthdays are celebrated on and using Zoom. You are talking to your grandparents using technology. So world is coming closer to technology. So use it wherein we are bringing everyone together, wherein love, compassion, sympathy, empathy, everything is amalgamated together. And the child is not seeing technology and device as device, but the child is seeing as a medium where families and memories can be made. Involving grandparents. We have seen many young children, they are involving their grandparents and they are teaching technology to their grandparents. That's really beautiful. So involve grandparents, involve siblings, have a lot of fun-based games using technology, because these emotional ties are going to go a very, very long way. We know now we don't have so many joint families, grandparents and parents and children. Everybody's not staying together, but technology has brought us together. So reap the maximum benefit out of that. Develop a family technology contract. That's something very beautiful. You can have, okay, every week during this particular time, everyone from across the globe will come together, and this is our contract that this time we all have to meet. So see, you are bringing the values together, because values are not going to go away. They are here to stay, but whether we are respecting them or not, that is what we as parents have to decide. And set limits, very important. You need to have in your home some no phone zones or no gadget zone, or limited time, that okay, this particular age will not see beyond this much of time. If you see the research by American Academy of Pediatrician, as per them, there should be no screen time below 2 years, and 2 to 5 years, one hour, which is now a little bit increased because of this pandemic and the online classes are happening. And children 5 to 12 years, not more than 2 hours. But yes, these guidelines have not changed, but the time has changed because of this pandemic. But a very simple rule you can follow when your child is sitting in front of the screen, that is called the rule of 20-20-20. That is, if for 20 minutes your child is seeing the screen, that means after that you have to take a 20-second break. So 20 minutes screen time with 20-second break, and you have to see something which is 20 feet away. So that is called the rule of 20-20-20, which enables your eyes to take a break from the screen time. Actively monitor your child's technological activity. Very, very important. Please check the apps, please check the sites, please check everything. It is important. It's not that you are spying on them. Your children might feel you are spying on them, but then make a contract with your child that, okay, I have given you technology, I have given you gadget. At the same time, I will check what you are doing. So the child needs to know that he or she needs to be morally right. Become a role model. Again, walk the talk, preach only what you practice. Children learn through role models. They learn through role models. They see their teachers as their role model if they like them. They see their parents as their role model. So become a role model, because this is how children are going to learn. If you limit your screen time, if you filter your online content, your children will see that and they will do that. Be truly present and engage when you are with your children. Don't just sit with your child and be busy on your own phone or your own gadget. The child is seeing that. If you are doing, children are, they are the big imitators, you know, we call them, they are like monkeys, they are the big imitators. They will imitate what you are doing. So be very mindful about that. Last but not the least, if we teach today as we taught yesterday, then we rob our children of tomorrow, said by John Dewey, and still it is so relevant. We cannot teach our children the way we were taught. We were a different generation. They are a different generation. And we are catering to a generation who is technologically advanced, who are the digital natives, who have individualistic identity, who have self-esteem and self-respect right from the beginning when they were born. They are not the generation whom you will say, okay, you know your poem very well, sing in front of my friend. They will not do that. They have their own voice. So what we need to do is we have to listen to the voice of this generation. We have to listen to the voice of our children, and we have to teach them the way they need to be taught. That's all from my side, Nidhi. Any questions, anything? I'm open for that now. I hope I could cater to most of the things which I thought are important, but still, if anything that parents would like to ask, I'm open for that.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really very, very informative. Thank you so much. I'll take up some questions. We have some of the questions in the chat box. I'll just read out a few ones. Okay. So one of the question is watching a movie from an unauthorized website cause virus?
Yes, it can, because anything that is unauthorized is not right. So it is like you need to be legally right. If you are not legally right, you are calling for trouble. You are inviting trouble. Maybe all the movies will not get you virus, but you don't know which movie will get you virus. So what is illegal is illegal.
True. Okay, next question is what type of antivirus is better for our device?
I think you have to see which device you are using, and accordingly you can install firewall for that. Most of the device, I think these days, are coming with built-in antivirus. Otherwise, I mean, whether you are using Android or you are using Apple, accordingly there are many antivirus and good apps available these days. Contact to the right person, get it downloaded. But yes, anything that you take should be the licensed version. Don't go for the pirated one.
Yes, the licensed one, right. Somebody has asked how to set parental lock on our mobiles.
See, you have to go to the setting and you have to find out. What you can do is I can send the detail about what are the steps involved to make parental lock, and your school can share that with you. Because whether you are asking for Android or for Apple, those are two different steps involved in that.
And also you can Google it out these days, so you can find the steps for your mobile also
Yes.
on the Google. But there it is very much required. Okay. One of the parent has asked, my kid is in class 12. He thinks he knows everything. So where and how do I guide this teenager?
Wonderful. He doesn't think he knows everything. He might know everything. So what you have to do is, how many times you as a parent have actually bowed down to your child to learn? If he thinks he knows everything, learn from him. I mean, that is the best way for you to judge whether your child knows or not. And the child will take ownership of his or her own learning. The child will take pride in teaching you. But when you are learning from your child, do not learn from the perspective of telling, see, I told you, you don't know this. Now, whatever you are teaching me is wrong. No, then the child will lose self-confidence. So be there, learn from your child, and genuinely learn from your child. And then when you see, okay, these are the places where my child is not right, then you become a part of learning. You say, okay, can we do this in this particular manner also, or can we research a little more about it and find out whether this is right or wrong? Because the moment then you will take over as an authoritative parent, telling that, okay, see, I told you, you don't know everything, you are just overconfident. That is the time you will actually damage your child's self-confidence.
Okay. How can I track the activity of my child? I think
That's very easy. Whichever device you have given in, you have to go to the history of that device to see what your child is seeing. These days, all the histories are there on the device.
I think there are a lot of questions. We can't cater all of them, but some of them, yes. Somebody has asked, Zoom app is secured app. Heard news that Zoom can hack very easily.
See, initially when it started, this was there. There was a lot of news about that, but now with
It has been resolved. Yeah.
it's been resolved, and with multiple layer of protection that they have come up, it's been resolved now. But anything and everything that we use, I mean, when we talk about the digital world, again, anything and everything is secure, and anything and everything is not secure. It's all how we are using it.
One last question I'll just take up. Is there any problem if we don't log out from our email ID in our personal PC?
There is practically no problem if you do not log out, but if somebody else logs in, that means your entire data has gone to that person. So it's always better log out. What we have to do every time, we have to enter with password. It's okay, make it a practice. That's a better way to stay safe. Maybe in your email there is some content which is not appropriate for your child, but one fine day child has to attend the class, his or her mobile is not working or laptop is not working, and your child enter with your PC. Something which is relevant for you is not relevant for your child, is being seen by your child. So it's always better to log out from your devices for your own safety and security.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you. I think I would also like to thank Alamir School for giving us the opportunity to present this webinar, and we could also learn and train both the ways. So thank you so much, Saifuddin sir and Jacob sir and Naushad sir. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's all with the
Before
session.
we conclude, Leather ma'am, are you there? Leather ma'am couldn't come online. Ma'am, are you there?
No, she's not here.
No.
Okay. Anyway, it was very useful session. I think I must appreciate Orange Publication and the coordination of Nidhi ma'am. Actually, our sessions, all three sessions went on well. It was an experience. It was a nice experience, a learning experience for the students, for the parents, and the teachers as well. And I appreciate your efforts, and we value your support. And we look forward to having this kind of session in future also. Especially, it was a pleasure meeting the panelist, Dr. Seema. Ma'am, it was an honor to have you on this platform. Definitely, we will be looking forward more from you, and may God bless us. I take this opportunity to register our heartfelt gratitude to Orange Publication and all the panelists, especially to Mrs. Nidhi for a wonderful arrangement and organized coordination. May God bless us. And the parents, I value your feedback. So if you have anything to say, anything to convey to the panelists, kindly fill up the feedback form, which we will be sending to you after this session. And also the streaming will be available on YouTube, and the session is going on Facebook Live also. So may God bless you. Thank you. May God bless once again. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your support and cooperation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you
Really
all. Thank you,
wonderful.
my parents and panelists, especially Dr. Seema, for a wonderful session. 3 sessions. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, everybody. Please visit
Thank
our
you.
website and please
Sure,
join
sure.
our.
I just went to your website. Actually, I
Yeah,
just sent you
please.
this.
No, Orange Education ke alawa, we have
Sure,
another
sure, that
website in
also.
the name of thetouchpad.com. That's another website. Please visit our YouTube channel. Please subscribe also. We keep
Sure,
on
sure.
updating more videos. And also our Instagram account. I would request all your teachers also to please join. In the previous session, I just skipped to tell that you can forward it to your teachers and everybody else.
Sure, sure.
Thank you so much, and we look forward for more such sessions.